He talks about how the major producing countries like China and Mexico, they have very little time left in terms of known reserves that have been studied by the US Geological Survey, USGS. Even though there are some countries like Poland and Australia who still have like at least 50 years of silver reserves, the fact that the major producers like China and Mexico are running low.
Financial markets and macroeconomics analyst Mario Innecco warns major known silver reserves could soon be depleted because of the current dire conditions with China and Mexico, two of the world's biggest producers of the precious metal. Quoting the work of Chinese precious metals analyst Bai Xiaojun in a recent interview, Innecco vividly describes how the world could soon be facing a major silver shortage as demand for the precious metals continues to increase while supply falls short by hundreds of millions of ounces annually. A continued shortfall in supply, which Innecco believes will worsen further in the next coming years, will of course increase the precious metals value and make it more appealing to investors worldwide. Xiaojun, the Chinese analyst Innecco references in the interview, does a lot of great work in the precious metals space and for years has been warning about the impending eruption event for a few years now. In one of his most recent articles published a few days ago, Xiaojun notes that the United States Geological Survey, USGC, data from 2011 to 2020 reveals that China's yearly silver mineral production barely stands at 3,350 tons to fill an average annual demand of 6,300 tons recorded over the past decade. This leaves a significant supply gap of approximately 3,000 tons to be fulfilled through imports. At this rate, the precious metals analyst warns that China's underground silver deposits will be fully depleted by 2032. The post reads, "The crux of our apprehension lies in China's limited proven silver resource reserves, amounting to a mere 41,000 tons in 2020. If current mining rates persist, a meager 11 years of silver mining remains. By 2032, China's underground silver deposits will be fully depleted, leading to resource extinction. From 2033 onwards, China's static silver demand of 6,300 tons will rely entirely on imports, exacerbating the global imbalance between silver supply and demand." The article further reveals that the situation might be worse in Mexico, the world's leading silver producer, which has seen an average annual output of 5,600 tons in the past decade. If mining continues at the current pace, the article states, the country's reserves will be exhausted by the end of 2026, marking a mere 5 years until the onset of the silver crisis. But depleting mines is not the only challenge facing silver and silver investors in 2023 and beyond. According to Innecco, there's also the issue of price manipulation and the impracticability of recycling. The analyst discusses all these and more in his recent interview with Liberty and Finance. As we bring you clips from the interview, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications for more videos. Thanks, and enjoy.
He talks about how the major producing countries like China and Mexico, they have very little time left in terms of known reserves that have been studied by the US Geological Survey, USGS. Even though there are some countries like Poland and Australia who still have like at least 50 years of silver reserves, the fact that the major producers like China and Mexico are running low, it could be very serious. The other thing he talks about is the fact that not just the banks, the bullion banks, but also a lot of the silver mining companies, they try to also hedge their production by selling short, and they do a disservice to the silver space, according to him. And one of his arguments about recycling is that the price has been kept so artificially low that it doesn't pay to recycle. And silver, of course, is very important. He talks about this 5-year plan that they have in China, and that by 33 or 32, they need to go into the alternative energy space, and silver needs to be used a lot for photovoltaics, for the solar panels, and a lot of other technologies. And it's a matter of that is really important, not just for stackers, but I think the Chinese see it more as a very strategic commodity or metal that they need in order to keep developing and growing their economy and going into a more alternative energy economy. And silver is a huge part of that, according to him. So he thinks that Mexico, for example, 2 years ago, Mexico only had like 6 years left of USGS reserves. So now we're down to like 4 years, and China is down to about 9 years. So this could happen very suddenly. And the way to stop it, he thinks, is for the price to adjust a lot higher. Then it would make it economical for to scrap silver, to recycle silver, because, as you said, there's a lot of silver out there that's just wasted because it's not economical to recycle it. But if it was at $100 or $200 or $300, then it would stop a lot of the depletion of the underground reserves of silver. And I thought it was really interesting. And yeah, people have been talking about that for long. And I saw the other day Keith Neumeyer from First Majestic Silver talking about the fact that about 1 billion ounces, I think, of silver trade every day, which is the annual production, and that in the last couple of years, the production has been a lot lower than the demand. So yeah, it's a problem. And of course, the price, the paper price, it's like a distraction. I think Andy Schechtman talks about that. It's like yeah, don't watch the fundamentals. Just watch the price. Don't get involved. It's almost as if it's trying to discourage people. So I think we need to be very patient. If you like me have been a silver stacker for many years, I think the time will come, and it could be very soon. It's a matter of not 10, 15 years, according to Bai Xiaojun. I hope I got his name correctly. It's a matter of maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 years, which is very close.
In his article, Xiaojun also analyzes the mining situation among the top 10 silver-producing countries. The post reads, among the top 10 silver-producing countries, the total silver resource reserves amount to 57,000 tons, whereas the annual mining output remains at a mere 3,500 tons. By 2036, these countries will face complete depletion of silver deposits, rendering them extinct. It goes further by stating, as a result of the silver resource extinction in China, Mexico, and other major silver producers, global annual silver supply will plummet by 15,450 tons. In other words, by 2036, global silver production will dip below 10,000 tons, while demand will continue to exceed 30,000 tons. During his interview, Innecco analyzes some things that can be used to remedy the situation, such as recycling and the development of new mines.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I've learned over the last few years about the mining space, that it takes, like you said, sometimes 20 years, sometimes maybe less, 10 years. And if you look at the USGS data, there are some countries that still have a lot of reserves underground. But if what he says happens to Mexico and China in the next 3 to 5 years, it will be too late. It will be too late. China and Mexico are really important producers of silver, one of the biggest, and that's why it's so important. And the other thing about silver is there's very few mines as well that produce just silver. It's usually a byproduct of base metals, so people haven't really focused too much on silver. There's very few pure silver plays out there.
Is it really feasible to go to landfills? How is this going to be recycled in the future?
Yeah, well, that's something that I haven't really looked into. It's not really my specialty, but I would say if silver was trading at $300, I think you might get a lot more scrap silver coming through. I think a lot of people who might have some silver that might not be as adamant about silver as money like we are, and stackers, they might get rid of it. I might get rid of some of my silver if it goes to 300, 500. So I think that's what he means. As for the landfills, I'm sure someone might find a way to, at $300, let's say, and I'm not saying silver's going there, but if it were, they'll find a way maybe to retrieve silver and make a profit. I don't know how, but that's something that happens when such things happen, when prices rise so much.
What is keeping silver so cheap right now?
Well, I think it's the bullion banks with their paper games, really, to be honest. And maybe this Chinese analyst says, even some of the silver mining companies, because the other thing he said is they don't want they're making money already at $24, $25, and if it goes higher, they'll get more labor demands in Mexico. People are going to want more wages. They're going to be taxed more. So they're just trying to it's like they're not maximizing their profits, and I think that's what's happening as well. So it's not just the bullion banks. The bullion banks facilitate the hedging and the shorting, according to him. And I think, frustration, because prices always dictate the sentiment. And if they can keep the paper price low, the interest is not there. But I've noticed that the U.S. Mint is not really stepping up to the plate in terms of providing bullion silver coins. And they're supposed to, and the premium for the silver eagles are very high. So yeah, it's this paper price is it's frustrating, but I don't think it's real. And eventually, it's gonna reset a lot higher.
According to USGS data, here are the projected timelines of silver resource extinction in the top 10 silver-producing countries. United States, 25 years. Chile, 19 years. China, 11 years. Mexico, 6 years. Poland, 53 years. Peru, 26 years. Bolivia, 19 years. Australia, 67 years. Russia, 24 years. Other countries, 15 years. As a result, Xiaojun warns that a silver panic will ensue when Mexico's silver mines dry up within a few years. It will be shortly followed by a subsequent depletion of China's silver, which will greatly amplify the impact of the shortage. Xiaojun concludes by gloomily predicting that more silver-producing countries will announce the depletion of their silver reserves, causing panic to spread globally until all underground silver deposits vanish. Humanity will face the extinction of this vital natural resource for the first time. What are your thoughts on the video? Do you think the world is really facing a rapid and complete depletion of its major silver mines? How do you think this will impact silver prices in the coming years? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos. Thanks for watching.